So good morning everybody and welcome to the IBS Hypnosis Protocol. Today I'm going to be talking about, is IBS linked to chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia? Are they linked? Is this just a phantom phase that we're going through? Maybe it's some kind of trending or hashtagging that's going on within the community. So let's have a chat about that. So before I start, I'd like to tell you about our events. We have run 5 extremely successful events across Australia and we've trained over 150 people in the IBS Hypnosis Protocol. We had the AHA approach us to be recognised for 10 CPD points at our live events, and we've also released the IBS Hypnosis Protocol online and we've sold it all across the world. So we're also expanding out into New Zealand this year. So we'll be off to there in November this year. So if you'd like to grab a ticket and you need a pay plan, get onto it now, because the longer the pay plan is, the easier the payments are. And we don't charge extra for payment plans because we need more gut-directed hypnotherapists in the community. So Melbourne is on this weekend. We only have 1 ticket left, so if you want to grab that, you're going to have to get onto it right now, because we are taking down the Melbourne bookings as soon as I'm finished this video, okay? We have some wonderful people coming from all over the world to meet us in Melbourne. Adelaide is going to be in April 13th to 14th. Sydney is already half sold out. That's June 8th to 9th. Perth is half sold out, August 10th to 11th. Brisbane has already started to sell, and so has New Zealand. So if you need a payment plan, it's only $40 to get on that, and we will sell out. So let's have a chat. Is IBS linked to chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia? There's a really great question there. Hi Carol again. And Steve, give me some love hearts, guys. Let me know that you're listening. So I'm going to show you an article that is going to allow you to decide whether they are linked or not. So here we go. Now, this article was published back in April 26, 2017. There's not a lot of work that has been done since then, even though we have a lot of evidence to prove that they are actually linked. But hey, at the end of the day, this is better than nothing. So I'll zoom that in for you. Now, if you would like to read the article, I will post a link in the comments below. So chronic fatigue syndrome linked to imbalanced microbiome. So scientists identify abnormal levels of a specific gut bacteria in individuals with chronic fatigue syndrome, including those with or without comorbid IBS. Now, comorbid IBS are people who suffer from IBS-C, which is with IBS with constipation. So these studies were done with people who have IBS-C and without it as well. Okay. The scientists at the Center of Infection and Immunity at Columbia University Mailman School of Public Health have discovered that there's abnormal levels of specific gut bacteria related to CFS and ME. So there's also patients that they regulated that had CFS ME on their own and that had CFS ME with IBS-C. And then they ended up publishing the article in the journal Microbiome. So the study is among the first. Now, this is why there's not a lot of information about it, is because we're just finding out about all this stuff. Hey, Tessa, how you going, gorgeous? So there's not a lot of information about IBS, CFS, and ME just yet. So we're just getting into all of this and finding out all of the links that are going on. So the research showed that they studied 50 patients and they matched them with health controls and things like that, and they were testing for the bacteria that was inside their stomach so that they can find out what's going on with these people. So when it came to people with IBS, CFS and ME, they found that a lot of the symptoms were actually interlinked, and they had no idea why this is. They still don't know what causes IBS and things like that. So we have speculation, but we just don't know. So the study is among the first to disentangle the imbalancements of gut bacteria in individuals with ME and CFS and IBS. Okay, so ME and CFS is a complex debilitating disorder, and it's characterized as extreme fatigue and after exertion, and other symptoms include muscles and joint pain, cognitive dysfunction, sleep disturbance. It just goes on and on and on. There are so many symptoms when it comes to CFS and ME that you can have a combination of them. You can have extreme of some sorts and minimalist of other sorts. Maybe you've only got 1 or 2 symptoms, but they're all put into the one bucket sort of thing. So the researchers followed 50 patients and 50 matched healthy controls and regulated it in a clinical system. So they tested for bacterial species in the fecal samples and for immune molecules in the blood samples as well. In the IBS hypnosis protocol, yes, we do teach you all about poo. Okay, it is crucial to know about poo. And here is what they reported. There were levels of distinct intestinal bacterial species, don't ask me to pronounce them all, okay, that were strongly associated with ME and CFS and causing this dysfunction. So there was a link between the bacteria of IBS and CFS and ME that is in the gut that weren't actually working properly. Okay, there was an increased abundance of unclassified bacteria as well, and these unclassified bacteria are the co-creators, the biomakers of CFS and ME. So that showed that they were actually linked when it comes to the bacteria in the stomach. So, and there was also an increase of unclassified bacteria and a decrease of classified bacteria that were keeping us healthy and keeping us on par. So, you know, there was a huge amount of coincidence between people who had IBS alone and who had CFS and IBS together. Analysis of the bacteria pathways associated with disturbance in the gut bacteria revealed distinct differences between ME/CFS and ME/CFS subgroups that were relative to the health control. They also found that there were no changes in the immune makers, so it didn't matter whether they had IBS or not, there were actually no changes. And then when it comes to the synopsis of the whole kit and caboodle, individuals with ME/CFS have a distinct mix of gut bacteria that's related to metabolic disturbances that may influence the severity of their disease. So they were talking about how the gut and the mind were not linking together, and they actually found that 90% of the participants that took the test that had IBS also had the exact same symptoms as CFS and ME. So much like CFS, ME, start again, Patricia. Much like IBS, ME, CFS may involve the breakdown of a bidirectional communication between the brain and the gut, and it's mediated by the bacteria, the metabioles, and the molecules that they have influence. So what they're saying there is that there's actually an imbalance between the brain direction and the gut direction and the bacteria that's communicating between the two to keep it all working and to keep it all smooth and healthy and happy. So we teach you all about the gut-directed hypnotherapy. We teach you all about the pain gate. We teach you the amygdala deprotentation, so that way you can get the body to intersync again once more. So when it comes to chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, things like that, they're actually finding a huge link between the bacteria of each case and people who are suffering from IBS. And this is absolutely debilitating. This is one of those things that, you know, when it comes down to the crux of it, I have come across so many clients that have both, and they're getting smacked from both sides. It's creating social anxieties and disorders and things like that, and they're just not coping. So here are some things that I recommend. Listen to your client. They may be giving a lot of energy towards stress. We know that there are a lot of external environments and stress indicators that can contribute to CFS and ME. In the IBS hypnosis protocol, you also have an opportunity to learn all about the pain management, so that way you can actually help people that are going through CFS and fibromyalgia. CFS and fibromyalgia are so closely linked that they are now classified as the one syndrome. Once upon a time, they were two separate modalities, two separate disorders as such, but now they're so closely linked that they've been put into the same category, and they are a syndrome. When it comes to syndromes, we don't know what causes these syndromes just yet. We don't have the science behind it. We have speculation, but we don't have the crux of it just yet. So learn the IBS protocol. It teaches you about the stress. The CFS and ME usually subsides dramatically after a client has completed the program. I have had such wonderful results with people, especially people with Crohn's and colitis. We teach you that as part of the bonus as well, because you can adapt the IBS protocol for Crohn's and colitis sufferers. And people with Crohn's and colitis usually have a CFS or an ME going on as well. And it's amazing the amount that subsides by the time they get to the end of the IBS hypnosis protocol. So this year, this is what we have on offer. It's a 130-page resource manual and includes everything. There is no masterclass to this. There is no upsell for the gut-directed hypnotherapy. This is the whole kit and caboodle. You study the whole lot. We teach you absolutely everything, and then you can go out into the world and start helping people with this horrible, horrible issue. We will give you the bonus module of Crohn's and colitis sufferers as well. We'll teach you how to adapt the program to help those people. My brother personally has Crohn's and he's suffered something shocking, and he's been a huge contributor to all of these studies. We've also added an extra bonus, which includes children and IBS, because children are suffering from it, especially young teenagers. So we'll give you a recording of that, and that'll be in the bonus module as well, so that you can help out the little ones. We have a payment plan available at no extra cost. We need more gut-directed hypnotherapists in this community, so we're not going to charge you extra. There are some people running courses out there and you're paying $500, $600, $700 extra just to go on a payment plan. We don't do that. We need more people to be gut-directed hypnotherapists. We are also worth 10 CPD points through the AHA at our live events. So if you need to get your CPD points up and registered for your clinical status, then please come along, because I can sign your little logbook and you'll get your 10 CPD points. And if you've attended before, please come back for free simply by referring someone that buys a ticket. Seating is very limited, and we have people that are wanting to come back just to get that little bit extra, to get the bonuses that we're offering and the extra recordings, and to actually start to network even more within the community. We have one group in Perth that have decided to create a group that gets together, a meet up as such, and they all work it out. They all work out the problems. They help each other with the current clients and stuff like that, to make sure that they can get the best results for all of their clients. So jump on the opportunity, because it is very limited, and become a specialist in the industry. Start making the income that you would deserve. I only work part-time and I earn between $2,000 and $3,000 a week. Now, this is not a flim-flammy course, and we're not going to drip feed you information. So if you think you're going to leave this course and be sort of like, oh, I don't know what to do now. No, that's not going to happen. We don't flim-flam. We don't stuff around. And there is no masterclass when you get to the end of it. This is the whole kit and caboodle. We have more IBS sufferers in this world than we do smokers, yet we have more therapists trained in quit smoking hypnosis. Really? It's a no-brainer. So grab your seat to the IBS training event that is near you. Please join us live. It's absolutely fantastic. Go to www.pellenandpalmer.com/events. If you'd like to rewatch these videos, please subscribe to Pellen and Palmer up on YouTube. We keep posting all the time to make sure that our community is growing stronger and stronger each and every day. So please join me next Thursday morning at 8 a.m. I'm going to be talking about sex and IBS. Please join me for that, because it's absolutely fascinating what is going on when it comes to couples, singles, and the act of sex. So otherwise from that, I'm off to do the IBS hypnosis in Melbourne as of tomorrow. Freaking stoked. So glad that so many people have stepped up and gone, you know what, I want to help people with this issue that's growing in our world. So I cannot wait. So I'm going to go quiet for a little while I teach these awesome people that. But otherwise than that, please join me next Thursday morning at 8 a.m. for sex and IBS. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Mwah.